San Diego Unveiled is a talk show solely for women.
It represents women from all over San Diego.
They come to our show to express their love and passion for what they do.
It's just a lot of inspiration, and
our voices are often sheltered and shunned, but San Diego Unveiled puts volume behind us and lets us be heard and seen in ways that has never been done in San Diego.
Welcome back to San Diego Unveiled. Our next guest is editor for What's Up Hollywood. Her talent agency has a nationwide client base. Please welcome to the show the CEO of 665 Media, Jody Taylor. Welcome to the show. I'm so happy for you to make it, and this is just an exciting moment. It's been like a secret dream of mine to have my own public relations agency. So now that you're sitting in front of me, I want to know everything.
Oh, great. All the trade secrets, right?
Yeah. So how did you get started with this company?
Well, it was kind of, I went to school at a high school for media and marketing, and then emergency medicine. I grew up, my mother was an Irish, workaholic mother. And when I first went into marketing, I got a job actually at Tri-City Hospital. And because she made me. She said that I had to get a real job that paid, and at the time I was doing marketing, it was like the 80s, and I was making like $800 a day, and she's like, you got to get a real job, and I was like, wait, I'm making more money than you are. I went into work at Tri-City Hospital, saw my first code, which was someone having a heart attack, and thought, oh my God, that's totally what I want to do with the rest of my life. I'm going to save everyone. I think I'm going to be like bigger than Kanye. It'd be easy. And then it was a quick reality going to school that it was like, you're going to make $5 an hour. And I was like, what?
We don't want
but
that.
I've always loved the marketing aspect of everything alongside with saving lives. So it was an odd combination.
Right.
But I just felt like I needed to kind of do the whole life-saving thing. And I did that for about 13 years. And then, from there, said, okay, now it's time to start doing the marketing and media. Started that about that time, I was doing women's pro football. There was tryouts that were in New York, and I was reading it. Actually, I was on the ambulance about tryouts that were happening in New York, and I remember telling my partner at the time, God, if this ever came to San Diego, I'd totally do it.
Right.
And then, lo and behold, 2 Sundays later, they had an ad for a team at the time called the San Diego Sunfire that they were going to have tryouts. And then I went and was like, okay, I'm in. Went into that. The league found out that I had a little bit of a marketing and media background, and jumped into that and started where I was just going to help our team with marketing and media. And then next thing I was kind of recruited to take on the whole league.
That's awesome.
So it was 52 teams nationwide. So helping all of them and really kind of training all their media marketing directors of, how you can get the media's attention and, understanding what's relevant and what's not relevant. Toledo, Ohio getting a new mascot, they didn't understand why the Associated Press didn't want to know about that. And, teaching them kind of how to build relationships with the media and that. So that's kind of how it started.
So is there a reason why, did you just think of this idea and then you quit the pro football, or did something happen?
I played for 10 years. I probably played a couple seasons longer than I should have. In 2006, I had tore my knee when I was working on the ambulance, and was told around 2001, it's getting time to, you should kind of wrap this up. And 2006, it was really bad, but then we had gotten a new coach from Texas Tech in 2007, who just was an amazing guy, Coach Dan Tovar, and said he was going to take us to the championship. So I was like, hey, one more. I got one more in me.
You got to make it.
And played, that last season, and then that was it.
That's cool. So, and the pro football is a reason for the name of your company?
Yeah, so I played with the jersey number the entire time I played, was 65. And at the time, it's kind of funny how even that happened, because I wanted to be 55 because everybody wanted to be Junior Seau, of course. And there was somebody else that had number 55, and a good friend of mine, we were picking numbers, and it was kind of really dumb and funny kind of all together. It was like we were making up words that sounded like numbers, and it was like, she's like, find something that's sexy and fine. And I was like, sexy, fine, 65. So that's kind of, it was like a joke how it came from that. And it just stuck, and I had that forever. And then so once football started to conclude, and it was like, okay, what are my next steps of what I'm going to do now? I was already working, kind of doing ghosting for other PR firms on the side of like doing spin campaigns when their clients gotten in trouble, and how we kind of make things be different than they are in reality.
Right.
And so I said, you know what, I'm going to kind of take a step back and do this myself. And so, tailor-made marketing just was way too cheesy for me. And, I really thought, like, I wanted to kind of be different as far as what I was going to offer to my clients of, I wanted it to be a little more where they felt like they trusted me and that they knew I was going to, work hard and we were going to do this as a team. So it was kind of like the natural evolution of that really had a lot of similarities. How I wanted to run my business was how, a football team is run.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, it was just like, let's call it 65, and so that's how I incorporated that.
That's really cool. So what are some things that you would give advice maybe to future entrepreneurs wanting to start a business?
That you're never gonna sleep ever again. You like anything, and it's funny because a lot of my clients are, either, in the acting profession or pro athletes, and what we kind of all share in the similarity of that is that you don't ever give up. I mean, you're always gonna face hard times, and it just kind of really how you deal with that. I've had clients that are friends and they're just like, I'm so over this, I'm done with this. Or they've been on really big projects. I repped a girl a little bit that was on a big reality show, and they were all about her in the very beginning. And then when it was her time to get cut, they were done.
Right.
And so that was a hard transition for her to kind of like, wait, I was, up here one day and down here the next. And I said, that's a lot like owning your own business where you're really in demand. And then maybe not so much. And then I think that...
So are you always having to try to find something new to...
It's fortunately I'm getting to the point now where I get referred a lot. But one of the biggest things I had to learn in the beginning, and it's probably just from doing football because, women's sports are so different than men's sports because it's funny, people say, oh, is it grassroots? I was like, no, we're like the seed below the grass. The budgets are so much smaller than men's football. So you do a lot of trade and things like that and kind of integrate all that. So I had to really learn very early on to stop doing so many favors. And, I have the mindset where I really want everyone to succeed. But, you can't be living in a box trying to help everybody else. So,
Well, thank you.
For being on the show with us, and I really appreciate speaking with you, and I'll definitely be following you along your journey of success.
Great.
But that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for dropping by to share with us. If you like the show today or would like to be a guest, please contact us on our fan page at facebook.com/San Diego Unveiled. Whether it's going out on a spiritual journey, finding talent, or pursuing your dreams, always remember you are special and you deserve to be heard. I'm your host, KB Sharif. Have a safe and classy weekend, San Diego.